Welcome! Today, we're diving into the world of government procedures. You might have heard the term before, but what does it really mean? In simple terms, a government procedure is a set of official steps or actions that government bodies follow to carry out their responsibilities. These procedures help ensure that everything runs smoothly, fairly, and according to the law. Whether it's passing a new law, issuing a permit, or handling public funds, there's usually a clear process in place. Understanding these procedures is key to knowing how decisions are made and how you, as a citizen, can interact with your government. A government procedure refers to the formalized steps that officials and agencies must follow to accomplish a specific task. These steps are often written down in laws, regulations, or official manuals. The purpose is to create consistency and transparency in how government actions are carried out. For example, if a city wants to build a new park, there's a procedure for planning, budgeting, getting public input, and finally, construction. Each step is designed to ensure that the process is fair and accountable. Government procedures are important because they help prevent confusion and abuse of power. By having clear rules, everyone knows what to expect and how things should be done. This not only protects citizens' rights, but also helps government officials do their jobs more effectively. Imagine if there were no set procedures. Decisions could be made randomly, and it would be hard to hold anyone accountable. Procedures bring order and trust to public administration. There are many types of government procedures, depending on the task at hand. Some common examples include legislative procedures for making laws, administrative procedures for managing government programs, and judicial procedures for handling court cases. Each type has its own set of rules and steps tailored to the specific needs of that area. Understanding the differences can help you navigate government processes more easily. Let's start with legislative procedures. These are the steps lawmakers follow to create, debate, and pass new laws. The process usually begins with a proposal, called a bill. Lawmakers discuss and revise the bill, sometimes holding public hearings. After several rounds of voting and possible amendments, the bill may become law if it's approved by the required majority and signed by the executive, such as a president or governor. Administrative procedures guide how government agencies manage programs and deliver services. These steps might include applying for permits, distributing benefits, or enforcing regulations. Agencies often have detailed manuals that outline exactly how each task should be completed. This ensures that services are delivered fairly and efficiently, and that everyone is treated equally under the rules. Judicial procedures are the steps courts follow to resolve disputes and interpret laws. This process includes filing a case, presenting evidence, hearing arguments, and issuing a decision. Judicial procedures are designed to be fair and impartial, giving both sides a chance to be heard. These rules help maintain trust in the legal system and ensure justice is served. Government procedures are usually created by lawmakers, agency leaders, or judges, depending on the area. For example, legislative bodies write laws that set out procedures for making decisions. Agencies develop their own internal procedures to carry out their missions. Courts establish rules for how cases should be handled. This division of responsibility helps ensure that procedures are appropriate for each situation. Procedures are often written down in official documents, such as statutes, regulations, or policy manuals. This documentation makes it easy for officials and the public to know exactly what steps must be followed. It also provides a record that can be reviewed if there's ever a question about whether the rules were followed correctly. One of the main reasons for having government procedures is to promote transparency and accountability. When procedures are clear and open to the public, it's easier to see how decisions are made and to hold officials responsible for their actions. This helps build trust between citizens and their government and reduces the risk of corruption or favoritism. Let's look at a real-world example. Applying for a building permit. The procedure usually starts with submitting an application, followed by a review by government officials. There may be inspections, public notices, and finally, approval or denial. Each step is designed to make sure the process is fair, safe, and follows all relevant laws. Many government procedures include opportunities for public participation. This might involve public hearings, comment periods, or advisory committees. Allowing citizens to have a voice in the process helps ensure that decisions reflect the needs and values of the community. It also increases transparency and accountability. Government procedures often include checks and balances to prevent any one person or group from having too much power. For example, a decision might require approval from multiple officials or agencies. This system helps ensure that all actions are legal and in the public interest. In today's digital age, many government procedures are moving online. This can make processes faster and more convenient for both officials and the public. Online forms, electronic signatures, and digital records are becoming the norm. However, it's still important to follow the same basic steps to ensure fairness and transparency. Government procedures aren't set in stone. They can be changed or updated as needed to reflect new laws, technologies, or public needs. Changing a procedure usually involves a formal process, such as a vote by lawmakers or a public comment period. This ensures that changes are made thoughtfully and with input from those affected. During emergencies, government procedures may be temporarily changed or streamlined to respond quickly. For example, in a natural disaster, officials might have special powers to bypass certain steps to protect public safety. However, even in a crisis, there are usually rules in place to ensure that actions are legal and necessary. Oversight is an important part of government procedures. Independent agencies, auditors, or the public may review how procedures are followed. This helps catch mistakes, prevent fraud, and improve efficiency. Regular oversight ensures that government actions remain transparent and accountable. Ethical standards are often built into government procedures. Officials may be required to avoid conflicts of interest, disclose financial information, or follow codes of conduct. These ethical rules help maintain public trust and ensure that decisions are made for the right reasons. Government procedures aren't just a local or national matter. International organizations, like the United Nations, also have procedures for making decisions and carrying out their work. These global procedures help coordinate actions between countries and ensure that international agreements are followed. At the heart of government procedures is the rule of law. This means that everyone, including government officials, must follow the law. Procedures are designed to make sure that actions are legal, fair, and consistent. The rule of law protects individual rights and keeps government power in check. Many government procedures create public records, such as meeting minutes, permits, or court decisions. These records are important for transparency and allow citizens to see how decisions were made. Public records can also be used to challenge decisions or hold officials accountable. If someone disagrees with a government decision, there's often a procedure for appealing or challenging it. This might involve a hearing, a review by a higher authority, or even a court case. Appeals procedures help ensure that mistakes can be corrected and that everyone gets a fair chance. Budgeting is another area where government procedures are crucial. There are formal steps for proposing, reviewing, and approving government budgets. These procedures help ensure that public money is spent wisely and according to the law. Budget procedures also allow for public input and oversight. When governments buy goods or services, they follow procurement procedures. These steps are designed to ensure fairness, competition, and value for money. Procurement procedures might include advertising bids, evaluating proposals, and awarding contracts. Following these rules helps prevent favoritism and corruption. Elections are one of the most important government procedures. There are strict rules for registering voters, casting ballots, counting votes, and announcing results. These procedures help ensure that elections are free, fair, and reflect the will of the people. Public safety procedures guide how governments respond to emergencies, enforce laws, and protect citizens. These might include protocols for police, fire departments, or health agencies. Clear procedures help ensure that responses are effective and coordinated. Education departments also follow government procedures for things like approving curricula, hiring teachers, and allocating funds. These steps help ensure that schools operate smoothly and that students receive a quality education. Procedures also provide a way to address concerns or complaints. Healthcare agencies use procedures to manage public health programs, approve medicines, and respond to outbreaks. These steps are critical for protecting public health and ensuring that services are delivered safely and effectively. Environmental agencies follow procedures for things like issuing permits, monitoring pollution, and enforcing regulations. These steps help protect natural resources and ensure that development is sustainable. Procedures also provide a way for the public to participate in environmental decisions. Building roads, bridges, and other infrastructure involves detailed government procedures. These steps ensure that projects are planned, funded, and constructed safely and efficiently. Procedures also help manage public input and environmental impacts. Social service agencies use procedures to determine eligibility for benefits, process applications, and deliver assistance. These steps help ensure that help goes to those who need it most and that resources are used efficiently. Tax agencies follow strict procedures for collecting taxes, processing returns, and conducting audits. These steps help ensure that everyone pays their fair share and that the tax system is fair and transparent. Immigration agencies use procedures to process visa applications, grant citizenship, and enforce immigration laws. These steps help manage the flow of people across borders and ensure that immigration policies are followed. Defense agencies have procedures for everything from recruiting soldiers to deploying forces and managing equipment. These steps help ensure national security and the effective use of resources. Procedures also provide oversight and accountability for military actions. Transportation agencies follow procedures for licensing drivers, inspecting vehicles, and maintaining roads. These steps help keep transportation systems safe and efficient. Procedures also provide a way to address complaints or accidents. Government communication offices use procedures to release information, respond to media, and manage public relations. These steps help ensure that information is accurate, timely, and accessible to everyone. Innovation in government often involves updating procedures to take advantage of new technologies or ideas. This might mean streamlining steps, using data analytics, or adopting best practices from other sectors. Innovation helps make government more responsive and effective. Privacy is a key concern in many government procedures. Agencies must follow rules for protecting personal information, whether it's in health records, tax returns, or social services. These procedures help safeguard citizens' privacy and build trust in government systems. Disaster response agencies have detailed procedures for preparing, responding, and recovering from emergencies. These steps help coordinate resources, communicate with the public, and restore normalcy as quickly as possible. Research agencies use procedures to fund studies, review proposals, and publish results. These steps help ensure that research is conducted ethically and that findings are reliable. Procedures also provide a way to manage conflicts of interest and protect intellectual property. Many procedures are designed to gather input from the public before decisions are made. This might include surveys, focus groups, or advisory panels. Public input helps ensure that government actions reflect the needs and values of the community. If citizens have complaints about government actions, there are usually procedures for filing and resolving them. This might involve submitting a written complaint, attending a hearing, or seeking mediation. Complaint procedures help ensure that concerns are addressed fairly and promptly. Managing government records is itself a procedure. Agencies must follow rules for storing, archiving, and destroying documents. Good records management helps preserve history, support transparency, and ensure that information is available when needed. Training government employees is an important procedure. Agencies have steps for onboarding, ongoing education, and skills development. Proper training ensures that officials understand procedures and can carry out their duties effectively. In summary, government procedures are the backbone of public administration. They provide a roadmap for officials, protect citizens' rights, and ensure that government actions are legal, fair, and transparent. By understanding how procedures work, you can better navigate government systems and participate in the democratic process. Procedures may seem complex, but they play a vital role in making sure government serves the people effectively.